Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Almost Martha. And today, well, it's fall, y'all. What does that mean? That means we've got a lot of new food groups we're gonna start eating in this type of weather, right? When it gets chilly outside, you make pots of chili, you make soup. And today we're gonna make one of my favorite soups. So it's chicken with lemon and kale. Super easy to make because I make it using a rotisserie chicken. So super easy, super delicious. I think you're really gonna love it. Now we're ready to get started. So I put 1 tablespoon of butter in this pan. So that's another big tablespoon of olive oil. Put that in the bottom. There we go. To this, I'm going to add 2 cups of onion. I know it sounds like a lot, but onion reduces a lot. There's a lot of water in that onion, right? So 2 cups is really a good amount. I'm also going to add a cup of celery and a cup of carrots. I know they're generous cups, but it's good, right? So now I'm going to turn the heat down just a tad. You really don't want it to fry these vegetables. What you want it to do is cook the vegetables until they're nice and soft. So that's what we're looking for. And that should take about 5 minutes. All right. Our vegetables now look nice and soft. They haven't browned yet, so we'll just give them just another minute or 2 to cook. And while we do that, I'm also going to add some garlic. So I had some roasted garlic. So I'm putting a little roasted garlic and I'm putting some fresh lemon thyme from my garden in here. And I'm going to stir that up as we prepare for the next step. And the next step is also going to require a bay leaf. So let me get these onions slightly browned and we'll go from there. All right, my onions have browned just a little bit. So now it's time to add chicken stock. So this requires 4 cups of chicken stock, and this is where I'm just going to put my bay leaf right in. And you're going to bring this to a boil now because we're going to add the pasta. And the pasta is going to have to cook. So we need to bring it up to the right temperature. So that's 4 cups. I'm going to stir it. I'm going to put the lid back on it. And we're going to bring it to a boil, which is really pretty easy to do here, but we'll bring it to a boil and then we'll get to the next step. So in our next step, we're going to add some pasta. And this is the pasta that we're going to use. It's like these little round balls, right? Pasta Abruzzi. I really like this. I've made this with orzo, but the orzo kind of blows up over time. I mean, they're not going to eat this soup in one sitting a lot of times, right? So if the orzo continues to grow, not so much with this pasta. So this is good. Dried at a low temperature, and it's what we're going to put in this soup the minute that we start to boil. Oh, and by the way, if you start to hear any low moaning or crying, don't be alarmed. My dogs have been circling me like sharks ever since the chicken came out in the kitchen. So if you hear it, don't be alarmed. Okay. We have a boil going on, so I'm gonna put in this pasta. It's about 2/3 of a cup of this pasta. And I'm gonna let that cook for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna put the lid back on and I'm gonna turn the heat down just a little bit. So we're just trying to get moisture in the pasta now. So that's about 5 minutes before we go to our next step. All right, it's time to check in on our soup. And it's been cooking for about 5 minutes. And everything's looking good so far. So now it's time to move to step number 2, which is to add our rotisserie chicken in. And, you know, I don't know if you've noticed, but I really haven't added any salt yet because there was some salt in our chicken stock. And I'm going to check and see how salty everything is, you know, at the end. I've also got 4 cups, yes, 4 cups of kale. So it's chopped kale. And it's not chopped finely. It's just sort of rough cut, chopped. I know it looks like a lot, I know, but give it a minute because it's going to cook down just a little bit. And it really makes a beautiful pot of soup. So we're going to let this cook and let all the flavors blend together. We're going to give that about another 5 minutes. And it doesn't have to be on too hot. So about medium heat. I'm going to put the cover back on. And we're almost done. So looking good, looking good. Quick and easy. All right, we are now where everything has been incorporated. And if you want to take a look, it almost looks a little stew-like, so it's very, very rich, right? So here I'm going to pull out my bay leaf because it was sitting right there on top, which is fantastic. This is really good. But if you have somebody with a cold or somebody wants more of that broth, you can always add more stock to this. So it'll be a little more soup-like. So I have now, I've turned off the heat, and now we're ready for the final thing, which is to add some lemon zest. So I've zested 1 lemon, and I also juiced that 1 lemon. So the juice of 1 lemon and that wonderful lemon zest. And I'm just going to stir that right in. Okay. Everything should be good at this point. Everything should be good and done. I'm going to give it a little taste because I also want to see, A, is the pasta cooked, you know, and second, do I need salt? Do I need pepper? What do I need in this soup? Oh, that's really good. That's really, really good. My husband always teases me. He goes, "Why do you always take a second bite?" I don't want a second bite. I want a second bite. Yeah, I'm just adding some fresh pepper at the end. And we have the most delicious soup. And how easy was that? How easy was that? So to get this recipe, just go to almost-martha.com and you'll see this recipe along with all of the other recipes that I've done. And this is lovely. Mom, I wish I could give you a bowl, but I know you love soup as much as I do. So, hi, Mom. And I'll see all of you next time on Almost Martha. Enjoy the fall, everybody. We got lots of fun stuff coming up to cook.